Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 128th St. Paul Winter Carnival. Today we're going to celebrate the Grande Day Parade, brought to you by SPNN TV. My name is Tom LaSalle. I am the 2009-2012 Commodore for the Aquatennial, and with me today...
I'm Brent LaSalle. I'm the 2011-2012 Aquatennial Captain.
So we came over from Minneapolis to celebrate with the great city of St. Paul on this beautiful day. This is a well-named celebration, Brent, the coolest celebration on earth. It's living up to its name today.
It is brisk out here right now, yes.
But we have some St. Paul people who are much more familiar with this weather. It's a lot warmer in Minneapolis. So, in fact, the last time we announced, I think it was 92 degrees, but I don't know what caused the difference in the temperature. We have Jennifer Wallace with us. Jennifer was Queen of the Snows in 2002. And we have her husband, Matt Wallace. Matt was Prime Minister this last year, 2013. Last night, Matt, was your last official act. So you're unofficially present with us today.
Correct. Yep, coronation last night. It was a really a wonderful event, kind of one of the kickoffs for Winter Carnival is the coronation. And just happy to pass that baton to the new 2014 royal family, who you'll see very shortly.
Great.
Matt, I understand you guys did a few appearances last year.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I think our numbers were about 350. 350 appearances for the entire year for the royal family, which that's on par with each group each year is about that number. So it's a tremendously busy year. You start out during the 10 days of Carnival, you'll make upwards of 70 to 80 appearances just in those 10 days. And then after that, you bust off to Canada for appearances in Winnipeg. And then parade season is right around the corner, which I'm ready. I'm already looking forward to.
Yeah. Now, Jennifer, I know you know this too, but we talk about Winnipeg, Canada. People don't believe you that when I tell them that February in Winnipeg, Canada is the best place on earth.
Well, it's actually a beautiful place to be at that time of the year, and they bring in people from all over the world to come and see their beautiful sculptures, and they throw a heck of a party for all of us visiting royalty and dignitaries, and they all have a lot of fun there too.
Can we get
it's a beautiful place to be.
Speakers on out here?
And you know, another thing too that Winnipeg is called Festival de Voyageurs. Now, again, your viewers will see some of their members coming through the parade in just a little while.
They are distinctive. You will be able to spot them.
Yeah.
And
So what part of Winnipeg did you like the best, Jennifer?
Well, you know, it was a very unique festival. They were anyway, Winnipeg, the Festival de Voyageurs, they're very welcoming to us, and they seem to bring a lot of people from St. Paul that goes up there and visit it with them. And so just really being able to come and visit with everyone there was just the people make it just so spectacular. Really.
And think about this. We've got people that repeat going there every year that have gone there 10 years in a row just to support their festival. And the ice sculptures, the bands, the Fort Garry Hotel that we stay in, they treat you amazingly. And that's the same with all of the festivals that we deal with that are here visiting us and that we go visit as well during the year of our reign as Winter Carnival.
Now, we have a torchlight parade next Saturday, but they literally have a torchlight parade.
They do.
Oh, yes.
They walk a long way along a frozen river, and it's a really unique experience and one that you don't forget. It's very cold, but you have a lot of people right there with you to warm you up as you walk along.
Now, you got to go to Florida, didn't you, this year?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes. The Bradenton for the Hernando de Soto Festival. And you'll see them here as well, and with their flamboyant costumes.
They are something to see.
Yes.
And they travel well. They usually have a lot of people with. They've got their queen and princess with them this year. The Hernando, the Hern, they call them. It's their king, their Hernando de Soto. And also their, what's the second? Gus's
goat?
deal. Yeah, well, no, the goat's not here. Let's move on.
Yeah, folks, you'll recognize Hernando when they come through. They'll be the only group wearing breastplates.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes, that's true. That's true.
Now, people all experience Winter Carnival from sort of different angles, and for those people that don't get to see the royal family as much, Matt, can you talk a little bit about what the Prime Minister does?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The Prime Minister role, well, first of all, the dynamics of the royal family. The 2014, who you'll see soon, they've got, I think, 18 in their royal family. Ours last year that just gave up our crown, we had 17 in our royal family. The Prime Minister's role, he's kind of second to the King in that he does all the administrative work. The Prime Minister is the guy that makes sure that everybody is at their places they need to be in. He's kind of the spokesperson for the group. And it can be a difficult job at times because when you have that many people to get together to be at one place at one time and you're doing multiple events in one day, you do a lot of coordinating. So it's a busy job, but it's also very rewarding because you're the guy with the microphone and you kind of get to be the front man.
Yeah, and I tell you, folks, we've had a lot of great primes, but Matt Wallace was one fantastic prime minister this last year.
Thank you.
He is a colorful man with a microphone.
It takes a great memory. How many people do you introduce, Matt?
How many do we introduce?
How many people in the family?
Yeah, we had 17.
17. So when they're on stage, we Aquatennial and Winter Carnival go to the same events. We go with 2 to 6 people, and then Winter Carnival's on for about 45 minutes, introducing each other.
We tried not to do that. That's hard. That is hard to do. You got to get.
You're popular at all the festivals. One of the things
So are you. So
all
is
of us
Aquatennial.
do is go to all the community festivals. I think Matt talked a little bit about that, and those are a lot of fun. I've seen more coronations than I ever thought possible.
Now, Jennifer, you this was not your first rodeo, like we said earlier. What does the Queen do?
Well, along with the Prime Minister and the whole rest of the royal family, the King and the Queen have the luxury of being able to help lead the royal family and be with them the entire way. We visit a lot of these festivals. We get to enjoy all of the festivals and then hopefully invite them to come and visit St. Paul in January. That's not an easy sell all the time. So you want to make sure that you show the graciousness that they all show us when we come to visit them. And we're pretty lucky. We get a lot of people that come here to visit St. Paul. And so hopefully that's the way we know that we've done our job right.
And I'd just like to add to that too. When you're talking about local festivals around Minnesota, around wherever, Wisconsin that we go to, I mean that is part of our job as being part of the royal family, and also the Vulcan crew as well, is to go to their festivals and support them. They come and support us, and we go and we support them because of these relationships that we have. So it's a pretty awesome thing. Ambassadorship is important, as you guys know, and all of you in the crowd as well. The volunteering piece of it in Winter Carnival, it's all about volunteering, and it's all about being sponsor driven. So folks, if you're ever looking for things that you want to do from a community service standpoint, Winter Carnival has everything you can do. Committees you can be on, events you can host. Royal Family, of course, is one of them that I love, but I also do a lot of other committee chairing and things of that nature too.
Folks, we're here with Matt Wallace, the man who was the Prime Minister of the Winter Carnival up until about 18 hours ago.
That's right.
And his wife, Jennifer Wallace, who was the 2002 Queen of the Snows. And Matt is right, and he's making an impassioned plea. This is all about volunteerism and community spirit. And I'll tell you this, once you're involved, you'll never not be, because it's so much fun.
That's right.
One of the big things about volunteerism is that you get a lot out of it. You'll hear the word royal family used by these folks a couple of times. And all festival, not just Winter Carnival, you become part of a family. Winter Carnival does a fantastic job of it. Each of the groups has their own fraternal organization. Yes. You can probably name them, Star of Boreas, sure. And the
Churchill organization for the Primes, Western organization, and so on. Yep.
And they're active all year.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. Many of us, the former Queen's organization, we meet every month and we plan out events that we can do to raise money for not only our current Queen, who is reigning at the moment, but also for the St. Paul Festival and Heritage Foundation. And we also donate money to different community charities as well. So try to be good citizens and really take some of the group that we have and be able to do some good in the community with it as well.
That's a good point. It's just, it is always busy. It's always a year round, and we are always raising money. We're always raising awareness. We're raising the celebration, and as you guys know, it's a year-round process.
It is, and like I said, it's a lifetime process and a voluntary one, just because it is such a good time. Now, I just saw a couple of our behind-the-scenes volunteers walk by, Rob and Avy Mousy.
Oh, good.
This festival doesn't happen without the two of them. and there are countless people who work behind the scenes. Being in the royal family is kind of the prestige, but it's the real work of everybody who comes through here that this whole community and this whole festival depends upon.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's a pageantry side of it, you know, and that is very rewarding to be a part of that piece of it. But the rewards come too in the 350 appearances you make at schools, at nursing homes.
Tell 'em that's off.
meeting.
Tell him
meeting
that's not working.
all the people that you meet. And what else can we think of here?
Well, you know, just like you said, there's the people who are here on the front lines, and there are so many people behind the scenes that help to make these festivals happen and make these parades happen. It's just really, and those are the people who we've developed such close relationships with, and what I think being a volunteer in festival world really makes it so much fun and makes you want to keep coming back again and again.
And Tom, you and Brent as well. I mean, you crossed the river to help us out with this. I mean, you know, and I'll be doing that now because of these relationships that we have forged. So it's pretty awesome.
And they're Minneapolis, St. Paul. They're also with Pasadena. They're with Winnipeg. They're with Florida. They're with all these people.
Well, we mentioned the milk carton boat races. All the volunteers for milk carton boat races were from the Winter Carnival this last summer.
Brilliant.
A lot of past Vulcans played a big role in it, and some of the wins. So it was great.
And I know that one of the real goals of the Winter Carnival is to just recognize people in the St. Paul general community and even the St. Paul metro area who volunteer. Matt, can you talk us through a knighting?
Oh, well, absolutely, absolutely. One of the honors in the royal family that you bestow on individuals or groups of people is with our knighting ceremony. And it's, you know, we have been schooled being in the royal family that when you knight someone, it is a special thing, and so we take it very seriously. So it's a process where somebody may nominate people or somebody for that honor, and it goes through a chain. It goes through a chain before it ends up in the prime minister's and the king's and the queen's hand and the royal family to actually perform that knighting at an event. And how it works is there's a ceremony, there's a proclamation, you get tapped by the royal scepter by the king, and ultimately get that knighting medal put on your lapel. And you know, we hope it affects people, and we know that it does.
It visibly
does.
Because
we see the tears often.
Really a wonderful
impressive.
honor.
Yeah.
It is really a wonderful honor that many people cherish for a lifetime, and they keep they get a beautiful certificate and a knighting medal from the king of the St. Paul Winter Carnival. It's a pretty special thing, and it's really reserved for people who have gone above and beyond in their community and been able to really help the St. Paul Winter Carnival or another community organization to succeed.
And when it does affect somebody, when they are moved by it, it moves us. We talk about it as we're leaving, you know, saying, wow, that person really enjoyed that or really thought that was special. So as we were talking about things being rewarding and getting back what you give, that's part of it.
Well, this is quite a carnival that's steeped in history. Some of you folks out there may not know that this is the 128th Winter Carnival. The first Winter Carnival came in 1886. What caused the Winter Carnival to happen is in 1885, a reporter from New York came to St. Paul. St. Paul was a transit hub at that time. And he rode the train, went back, and wrote an article that referred to St. Paul as another Siberia that was unfit for human habitation in winter.
And anybody who's out here today knows that's just...
It's not true. Look at all these people.
True.
It's obviously not true. This balmy day and the ones.
Yeah.
I think we adapt.
Anyway, in 1886, the Chamber of Commerce got together and decided they'd show up New York, and they started the Winter Carnival. So it's quite a history. 1886, it was the first King Boreas was crowned. And we've had continuous, really, winter carnivals, except for during World War II.
That's correct. Yep, took a break for several years, and then it got brought back. And it was the businesses that do a lot of the along with the sponsorship, but they also did a lot of the initiating of getting things back rolling again.
Absolutely. And Boreas turned over his scepter last night. Matt, you could talk for a minute about Ted Natus and the work he's done. He was an outstanding Boreas.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, we really do. You know, have handed it off to 2014, and they deserve their due. But I am definitely so proud of our King Boreas the 77th. Ted Natus and his lady Lynn. You know, his life story, which we need to get
It's
on
powerful.
SPNN, is major, and it's tremendous to listen to. It's moving, where he has come from and where he is now, and he has said that this is a pinnacle in his life, and it's not because it's for fame or anything like that. It's because of the giving and what he thinks this role can do. So it's impressive. He's an impressive man.
Well,
Yeah.
Ted
No doubt.
really fit the traditional model for a King Boreas. Local
Yes.
business, and somebody who really cares about St. Paul. In fact, he's parochial about St. Paul.
Yes.
He's lived a hard life, and he's overcome a lot of obstacles. And I think that's a lot of why we're just so proud to be associated with him, because he and his wife have just been tremendous role models, and they have just been probably two of the most generous people that we've ever met. And they're perfect for the role, and our whole royal family, and I think all of St. Paul now, absolutely loves him.
And I think also another, like as you said, kind of some old school things that he did was, you know, placing the ads in the St. Paul Pioneer
Yes.
Press, you know, little jabs at the Vulcans, and but still promoting his business Hammernix. It's been a while since I've seen that done in that way, and he just enjoyed it, and a lot of people enjoyed the banter and the little needle given to the Vulcans.
Well, you had a great year. I hear,
thanks.
Jennifer, I've heard it perhaps rivaled 2002, but what do you think? Did it surpass?
You can't say.
We have quite a few rivalries in families in Winter Carnival. The spirit in the family becomes literal. As many there are many marriages born out of Winter Carnival, and not only Winter Carnival. We see it with the festivals that visit us. We get to meet some of the people, and pretty soon, a few years later, some of them are married to each other. So
Absolutely. Yeah, we feel pretty lucky that we met.
we're going to start
Yeah, we're a carnival marriage.
festival.com, your matchmaker.
There you go. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Well, there's other things that go on, a lot of activities this week. So we can talk about some of those. I don't know if Jennifer, if you've ever gone on the Winter Carnival medallion hunt. That was a huge thing when I was a kid. We used to go out every year looking for the treasure. That started in 1952. And it's been sponsored by St. Paul Pioneer Press, where they plant the medallion, but they also put in the newspaper clues for 12 days, and it's often held buried in a local park, and people go out looking for it. I grew up right next to Highland Park Golf Course, so when we were kids, we tried to dig up Highland Golf Course every year. Didn't matter what the clues said. That was as far as we could travel.
So we talked a little bit about the Vulcans. Jennifer, can you talk about the relationship between the Winter Carnival and the Vulcans?
Absolutely. Well, the royal family has according to the legend, a strong rivalry against the Vulcans, and all during the 10 days we try to keep them away and try to keep the warm weather off so that we can all enjoy this beautiful St. Paul in the wintertime. They take over towards the end of Winter Carnival, and I think we're all just not quite as sad as maybe we should be to see them take over and win. But in reality, despite the picture that we put on, the royal family and the Vulcan crew each year has a very special relationship, and one where the friendships that grow there stay for a lifetime as well. So it's just, they really become part of our whole Winter Carnival royal family and Vulcan crew. It's all been one big kind of happy family, really.
Yeah, it's a battle, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's a great part of the legend. We all enjoy it. We'll look forward to next Saturday night to watch them try to take over.
I wouldn't say we'd look forward to it, but it'll probably happen for the 128th time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. They've got a good record, but I think Boreas is due. This
got a strong
winter,
one.
I think Boreas has a good shot at winning.
And, well, let me just add this to that. During the 10 days of Winter Carnival, when the royal family is traveling in the royal chariot, which is a Lorenz bus that is very large and lovely, then the Vulcans are traveling in their fire truck around, and they confront each other at numerous events. And, you know, the guards do stave them off for a lot of little battles here throughout those 10 days. So if you count the little battles, I mean, the guards have done very well in holding off the Vulcans, but then ultimately they just seem to crush it at the end of the end of the 10 days.
They do well in the championship games, but they struggle in
That's
the
right.
Super Bowls. Yeah.
Well, if you folks come next Saturday night to watch it, you may be biased on who you root for, because Vulcan, by defeating Boreas, brings in summer. But Vulcan's a little slow, because it usually takes about 3-4 months to accomplish that.
Well, I think by saying slow, yeah, it takes the 10 days for them to get the gumption to make the big attack. And boy, but you'll see them around town. They are impressive during the 10 days when they are riding around on Laverne, the fire truck. Watch out for those Vulcans. They're fun to see. Give them the V, but don't be afraid to take that V down like that.
Well, folks, it looks like we have a
I think
parade
we got it.
coming.
Hey.
Yeah. We've been talking with Matt and Jennifer Wallace of the St. Paul Winter Carnival here. Thanks very much, guys, for coming down.
All right, folks, so we're going to have an exciting time here. We got to get set as the parade gets in front of us. It's a little windy out here today.
Yeah, it is slightly chilly, but people are dressed for the event. We have the
Go ahead.
we have the St. Paul Police Color Guard coming through right now.
Followed up by the St. Paul Police Band. This was formed by a trio of St. Paul police officers. They're celebrating their 90th year. They've grown to 65 members. They include police officers and volunteers. They enjoy making music and representing the city of St. Paul and the St. Paul Police Department. So let's hear it for the marching band, folks.
I lost my
What?
page.
Now we've got the Winter Carnival banner just past us, and here are the Winter Carnival snowflakes. Each of these snowflakes weighs 10 pounds. They're carried by volunteers. You can see how warm the parade route's been as we watch these folks come by.
So we had the PreferredOne Insurance Company Parade Day sponsor come by a second ago there. Oh, this is my favorite here.
Well, here comes a hot air balloon minus the hot air balloon.
This is the Preferred One.
This is PreferredOne, the parade sponsor.
Yeah, feel free to stop and stay for a while.
So if you sponsor a parade, you're assured of being warm. That's one of the great benefits. All right, Brent, coming up, I think we're going to see the 4th District Veterans of Foreign War.
The 4th District Commander is Barry Hendrickson. Their president is Renee Tessier. Looks like we have a past president, Marianne Weir, and Ed Martz coming past us right now.
And with them, the Poppy Queen and the Poppy Princess. These folks march in a lot of parades every year. How you doing? Was it cold? You're almost
She's got the
done.
right hat for it, though.
Here we have the Blue Star Mothers leading the this group. Let's hear it for the Blue Star Mothers. Thanks for coming, folks.
Lovely display of patriotism in front of us.
4th District.
We have the 4th District American Legion. The American Legion is the largest veterans organization in the United States. Current membership is over 2.5 million wartime veterans and more than 14,000 posts across the nation. They are working for the betterment of their community.
The marching band, element of Minnesota's premier military brand, performs with pride throughout the state on parade and in concerts, representing and celebrating civilians and soldiers of the Minnesota Army National Guard.
They were deployed to Basra, Iraq in February of 2009.
Well, Brent, looks like we have a little gap here.
Yeah, which is good. Get me caught up. Whew. Again, we're down here in St. Paul today. It's a brisk 1 or 2 degrees, and it doesn't feel that warm.
After the parade, folks, we hope you stick around. If you haven't already seen the ice sculptures across the street from us, they're just amazing, and I don't think they're in any danger of melting this year. That's been a problem in past carnivals. Not to mention, there's quite a few other activities over there and food for sale, and I think you get some warm things
Yes, I bet you can get a cup of coffee over there.
Well, this is, you see the strength of St. Paul when you look at the size of this crowd today, Brett.
Yeah, nobody is shying away.
Last time I looked, I think it was about 3 degrees. The wind is seeming to die down a little bit, which is nice.
It looks like the Vulcans have already gone out. I see some V's on cheeks out there.
Now, there's a lot of activities this week. Winter Carnival is not just this parade and the Torchlight Parade, so make sure you take advantage of a lot of the community activities that go on.
Looks like we have the St. Paul Fire Local 21 Honor Guard. We may have the St. Paul Council, too.
So this is solemn duty. The Honor Guard stands by at visitations and funerals as a show of respect to fallen firefighters and police officers. This group originated in 1997 after they watched the Minnesota Honor Guard in attendance at a ceremony for a Minneapolis firefighter killed in the line of duty.
We also had the St. Paul City Council members. They were riding on one of the St. Paul fire vehicles. We had Dai Tao of Ward 1, Dave Thune, a friend of Winter Carnival in Ward 2, Chris Tolbert from Ward 3, Russ Stark from Ward 4, Amy Brenmone from Ward 5, Dan Bostrom from Ward 6, Kathy Lantry from Ward 7, and she is the council president. The council serves as the Board of Health and as the director of the HRA and public library agencies. Members serve on River City Convention and Visitors Authority, Port Authority, Joint Property Tax Advisor Board, and Board of Water Commissioners.
Not sure what the bus is coming up
It's
here.
the Pioneer Press, it looks like.
Sponsored by Fury Motors. They're the sponsors of the Pioneer Press treasure hunt we were talking about earlier this year. Now coming up in a really nice and warm is this year's Grand Marshal, Dave Dahl with his family. Oh, welcome. Nice and warm in there. Director of Region's most preferred source for complete weather coverage. Dave joined 5 Witness News in 1977, has been on the air since 1979. He oversees one of the most responsive and accurate weather tracking operations in the industry and the region's preferred source for complete weather coverage. He delivers his weather forecast on 5 Eyewitness News, 45 TV weeknights at 7, 6:30, 9, and 10. Dave also provides the forecast and other current weather warnings and advisories on KS95's morning show, KS95's afternoon show, and 1500 ESPN.
He was the 1998 Broadcaster of the Year.
Now, 45 is one of the proud to be official media sponsor for the 2014 St. Paul Winter Carnival. Winter weather is always changing. There's a surprise for all of us.
Yeah.
And Dave Dahl and Ken Barlow have got you covered. Be prepared for your day. Watch Dave and Ken every night on 45 TV, local news at 9 and 5, and Eyewitness at 10. Don't miss Twin Cities Live weekdays at 3 for the best in Minnesota food and fashion.
Next we have the 2014 Winter Carnival Senior Royalty.
On here we have King Winter, Queen of the Northlands, the Prime Minister, Lady in Waiting, Princess of the Four Winds.
Along with the Winter Carnival, these folks represent seniors, the city of St. Paul, and the Winter Carnival. They attend community festivals and parades, senior care facilities and senior centers, and special events. This program is sponsored by St. Paul Parks and Recreation and the Senior Royalty Alumni Association. Rob. Rob, come here. Here, Mike. Can you fill out a list of all the people who are the new royalty? Because we had to go to paper, and I don't think we updated our thing. Princess. Yeah. Here. Just right at check around, we got a minute. I think.
All right, folks, let's hear it for Tuck's team. These guys have an important job around Winter Carnival. They are the official poop scoopers.
I don't have a pen.
What's wrong?
That's her. She'll know.
All right, folks, here's Titan.
We have the Prince of the North, King Titan. It's float in front of us here. Elizabeth Carlson is this year's Princess of the North Wind.
So this is the Northwind Titan organization, best known as the Best Wind. The Titan organization are all former princes of the Northwind. On that truck, there were we had former Northwind princesses and their families. Coming up is the East Wind now.
Princess of the East Wind is Christine Schrader.
The princess, the new Princess of the East Wind is Christine Schrader.
Now with them are the former East Winds and their families. They support the city and Winter Carnival throughout the year. They recruit and mentor new East Wind winds each year. They are the protectors of the legend of Euros, who was granted by King Boreas control of the irrepressible East Wind. Let's hear it for the East Winds.
We have the Vulcans coming up here. We have our first sight of them. But folks, we have with us right now the Grand Marshal of the parade, Mr. Dave Dahl.
Hi guys.
Well, Dave, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. I know you're right in the middle of the.
Where's that hot air balloon you promised?
Yeah.
We tried to burn the burners when we went by, but my face is frozen. You know what? It could be a lot worse. It's been a great day. Thank all the people that have been out here. 45 TV and Channel 5, of course. We love being a part of this parade, and it's just been a great time.
Now, we lobbied for you to be Grand Marshal. We thought we'd be certain to have warmer weather.
Well, you know what? There's certain powers that I have and certain that I don't have, but this is one. You can't change it. But, you know, actually with the sunshine, you guys are in a good spot here. You're at least in the sun.
No, it's really not that bad. You're right. It's a little hard on the fingers, but the wind died down.
The Vulcans will keep you warm, and we're only 53 days away from spring, so it's not that far away.
Well, I was watching the weather, and it showed windy up until 2 o'clock, and then I read the detail, and apparently the definition of windy is 20 miles an hour,
Yeah.
because when it dropped to 19, the windy symbol went away.
Very good point. Yeah, that's about it.
I
consider 19 still windy, though.
Yeah, well, it's a lot warmer than it was at 20 miles an hour, so we appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming over.
In front of us, we have this year's royal family.
Oh, welcome. We've got the royal family
They
here.
snuck up on us this year. Thank you. Watch out for that west wind. He's armed. There we go. There's King Boreas. We have Roger Cruz, the 78th King Boreas, along with Queen Abby, Queen of the Snows.
Behind them are the former King Boreases marching along. These folks stay very active. This is a group that goes way back. We have lots of Boreases, and Scott Mueller, Prime Minister from 2008,
There we
who's
go.
sponsored by Mueller's
Former Boreas coming to join us right now, Chris Neiman.
King. Chris was King our year in 2009. We did a lot of events together.
There's a whole bunch of snowmen coming. Keep your eye out.
Here's a mic, Chris.
I'm just warning you, there's a whole bunch of snowmen from Woodbury on their way here in a little bit.
We don't need any more snowmen.
Hiya, folks. We're having a lot of
So
fun.
this is Chris Neiman. He's a little
Okay.
camera shy. This is new to him.
I tell you, we sure have enjoyed our relationship with the LaSalles and the Minneapolis Aquatennial.
Oh, here's
Right
the
now
float
it's
we've been waiting for.
It's water on ice. Next summer it'll be at Lake Calhoun, right?
Yes,
You got it. Okay. Have a great time.
Have a good one.
Here are the
Folks,
guys
the
who-
Southwinds.
They're not doing their
Southwinds
job
and their
right now.
families. They support the city and Winter Carnival throughout the year. Their job's to recruit new members.
They're followed by the guard. You see Sam Worms, Greg DeKuster, some former guards. Yeah, everybody. The new guys have their work cut out for them in the next couple of days. I see some
Westwinds
former
here following
Westwinds
the
here.
guards.
Bridget Rissman there.
Yeah, hello,
Emily
hello,
Bly.
Ava.
We got
How
our
are you?
Former
Former
Westwind
Westwind Princess 2009.
There's Carrie Pato. She just finished up.
Okay, what do we have here? We have some more West. Here come
Oh,
the
here are the
Westwinds.
Westwind guys.
Westwind organization, like the other winds, support St. Paul and Winter Carnival throughout the year. Their job is to recruit Westwinds for the future and train them. Welcome, folks.
Those guys are tough. They look warm.
Well, here comes another truck to warm us up, Remax and their hot air balloon. And in this truck is Joe Glass. Joe is the St. Paul Festival and Heritage Foundation Chair of the Board. St. Paul Festival and Heritage Foundation is a year-round nonprofit that maintains the mission to foster a sense of community, pride, belonging, and connectedness by celebrating St. Paul's unique history and the emerging history through fun and educational experiences. They also manage Cinco de Mayo, West Side St. Paul.
Oh, and here we have some visiting
There
royalty.
is some visiting royalty with us.
We talked about the DeSoto
We got some
Festival earlier.
Aquatennial folks here.
I also see some Aquatennial folks, yeah.
We told you folks before about the breastplates. If you thought we were kidding, show
Yeah.
the people a breastplate.
This is a well-dressed man here. Well, like I said, we see our 2013 Minneapolis Aquatennial, 13-14 Minneapolis Aquatennial.
On the fire truck, we've got a whole list of visiting dignitaries.
These are the folks that Matt and Jennifer were talking about earlier, the great relationships that Winter Carnival makes when it goes abroad into other states. Here they are coming, repaying the favor by attending our festival and our celebration here. And they don't look even a little bit cold.
So these
No.
folks came from California and Texas,
I see some people
Canada.
from La Crosse, Wisconsin walking past us. As we said, international and intranational, the festivals that we all enjoy so much.
Well, we have a group in front of us without a sign.
Yes. But they're
What's it say
having,
on the tie?
they're visibly having a good time. Here we go. We got Remax again. Once again, appreciate every time they come by with a hot air balloon. Hot air. Much appreciated today. Festmaster from La Crosse.
It's the Winter Carnival chairs.
We see Jen
Jen.
Timborough and Bob Hughes. Yeah. Come a little closer, guys. Well, here's someone sure to bring the heat. I'd say the guys next to us have been waiting for this one for a while. We have the 2014 Vulcans, Vulcanus Rex, the God of Fire. Did you guys take the morning off?
Vulcan is the implacable enemy of Boreas. He's been known to say, by the great sword of Mars, I will temper the blustering of Boreas with heat and the roar of my forces.
Vulcanus and his crew are tireless in their bitter resistance to the festivals of Boreas.
Hail Vulc.
Hail the Vulc. Watch out or you will end up with a face full of grease paint.
So Brent, the visiting royalty, I found the list here. We've got people from the Wild West, from Rivertown, Wyoming, Fiesta, San Antonio, Hernando the DeSoto from Bradenton, the Cherry Blossom Festival, Minneapolis Aquatennial, Oktoberfest, Sween, and the Snow Queen Festival, and then
South Dakota.
The Festival de Voyager from Winnipeg, Manitoba. So
They come down because it's warm.
yeah, they came down to warm up.
We have the Klondike Kates coming right now, everybody's favorite part of Winter Carnival, or at least mine. Some beautiful ladies here.
Welcome, Kathy Rustin Westwell, the 2014 Klondike Kate.
Lovely singers.
Now, Kate's renowned to have had beauty, charm, and a man who done her wrong. She was Kathleen Rockwell, and she made her way across the mountains to Dawson City and the gold fields around the Yukon and Klondike rivers, just as many did during the gold rush of 1898. The senior, that was the senior Aquatennial that just went by.
Oh, yeah. Those guys are very active right now, really enjoying themselves. Talked to them last night. We have the Hylix Gnomes, a marching tradition since 1940s. The Gnomes are on loan from Westcott Station Antiques, the keeper of the Gnomes. Boy Scout Troop 13 has provided the leg power since 1946. That even predates you?
Yeah, it's amazing how they've kept these in great shape. They look brand new. Coming up here are the Western Saddle Clubs Association. They represent the 5-state area, promoting horses as a fun family activity. The 2013-2014 royalty are with us today. We have Queen and Miss Congeniality Zoe Kunkel, Princess Bobby Johnson, Miss Horsemanship Shannon Voges, and Mr. James Kristen Olson.
Up next, we have St. Paul's Regional Labor Federation. The St. Paul Regional Labor Federation unites more than 55,000 union members in the 4 counties of the East Metro area. Although the work that union members do has changed throughout the years, their commitment to working to improve our community is constant. Greater Twin Cities United Way and organized labor have partnered for over 60 years to make the community a better place to live.
Well, kids, are you having fun in the parade?
You guys keeping warm?
You notice how slow people wave now by the end of the parade?
Well, my fingers stopped working a minute ago, so.
Yeah, so did mine. So who do we have in front of us, Brent? The Regent's Hospital.
It appears we do. They are part of Health Partners Families of Care, one of 4 Level 1 pediatric trauma centers for adults and children in Minnesota. You can check out wait times online at takemetroregions.com.
Well, we have another balloon coming up here. Another Remax balloon. Remax, by the way, is Remax Results. They're fired up to be in the St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade. Their real estate sales executives will help you find your place and achieve the results you desire. Visit Remax Results at results.net.
It appears we have the Salvation Army. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed one. We have
Brugger's Bagels. All the Brugger's Bagels bakeries make bagels fresh all day, and they make them, Brent, the authentic New York style way, first boiling them and then baking them in a stone hearth oven for a soft, chewy inside with a crispy outside shell.
In front of us now is the Salvation Army. Little Sal is a 7-foot Salvation Army kettle with 2,200 LED light bulbs. In the Twin Cities, the Salvation Army serves more than 234,000 people a year. For more info, please visit salvationarmynorth.org.
Well, now we've got those snowman Chris was talking about coming up. These are Woodbury ambassadors. Woodbury Days is celebrated the last weekend in August. We have with us today Miss Woodbury, Illinois. We have Princess Maureen and Megan, Little Miss Woodbury, Isabel, Little Princess Faith and Sammy, and Senior Queen Karen.
These ladies are famous for their dancing, and you can see why.
Why, do you think these the snow costumes are just for the Winter Carnival?
Yes, I do.
I think so. That's great. They look great, don't they? Woodbury has a fun festival every year. We've gone to their coronations in the past.
They're very active in the festival community. You see Woodbury at all sorts of stuff.
To the left. Take it back there, y'all. One up this time. One up this time. Reverse. Reverse. Slide to the left. Slide to the right.
That's amazing precision dancing.
Reverse, reverse. Cha-cha now, y'all. Cha-cha.
Well, Brent, I'm impressed with how the crowd has stayed with us watching this parade. You know, it proves what they proved to New York in 96, that you can certainly come out and celebrate in this kind of weather. It's actually nice out with the sun on us, and people are enjoying themselves. If you haven't been part of the Winter Carnival, you want to come down and see the ice carvings. Take advantage of this. Tomorrow will be a fun day. There's a lot going on. It'll take place all week, and you'll want to be sure and join us next Saturday at 5:30 for the Torchlight Parade and the overthrow of Boreas. We are predicting Boreas will be overthrown.
Up next we have, you can hear the cheers from the audience, we have the St. Paul Bouncing Team. The St. Paul Bouncing Team performs aerial acrobatics at public events throughout the year. Dating back to 1886, bouncing is the single oldest event associated with the Winter Carnival. Make sure to help the team go by counting along. 1, 2, up she goes.
Awesome. We hear folks are well insured, so don't hesitate to let them bounce you.
Hey guys.
Well, we have quite a float coming up here, Brent. The Lions Club International. Looks like we have 2 lions on this float, a live one and a artificial one.
Yeah. The Lions District 5M6, the Lions Club International, is the largest service organization in the world. 1.35 million volunteer members in 206 countries and geographic areas are different in many ways, but they share a core belief. Community is what we make it. Their motto is "We serve."
Wow, that's an impressive float.
Yeah, that really is. That's the peak of technology in the parade world right there.
You think those are rose petals on there?
Definitely.
All right, coming up after them, the Hopkins Raspberry Festival. This is a favorite festival of mine. We've been there a number of times. I've even seen their coronation. The Raspberry Festival will celebrate their 80th festival the 3rd weekend in July this year. It's the peak of the raspberry picking season. Hopkins Raspberry Festival is really excited to be here with their new float, folks. The float portrays a raspberry basket to honor the history of the festival, which started by businessmen and farmers during the Great Depression to boost business in Hopkins. Our junior royalty are on the float: Prince David, Princess Ivy, King Aidan, and Queen Logan. They're all riding in on the mechanical spinning raspberry. Then we have senior ambassadors, Maria and Taylor on the moving raspberry teeter Tyler, and Queen Elijah on the raspberry swing. An impressive new float for Hopkins.
Passing in front of us now, we have Cities 97, Clear Channel, Minneapolis. Cities 97, where the Twin Cities discovers new music. First hear artists like Ed Sheeran, Fun, Mumford & Sons, and Jason Mraz. Be sure to tune in each morning for music and Oak and Carry.
Well, here are the 2014 visiting royalty. These folks come from over 25 years of ambassadors coming from surrounding communities in both Minnesota and Wisconsin. They come to the St. Paul Winter Carnival. These young women come from as far as Osseo, Wisconsin, and Moose Lake, Minnesota, and as close as Hopkins, New Brighton, and Woodbury. Their weekend takes in all of what Winter Carnival has to offer. Let's hear it for them.
Coming in front of us now, we have Minsure. Minsure is a place where individuals, families, and small employers can get quality health insurance and access to tax credits or assistance. Open enrollment ends March 31st.
Brent, I think we've got the Northeast Minneapolis Ambassador Program up here next, don't we?
Those are old.
Oh, we got the Lego Movie did make it.
Oh, we wouldn't want to miss that. My daughter will be excited. The Lego Movie, the first ever full-length theatrical Lego adventure from Warner Brothers Pictures and Village Roadshow Pictures. It'll be opening in theaters on February 7th.
You know, they look very lifelike. I wouldn't have realized those were Legos.
Visit thelegomovie.com.
All right, then coming up now, we have the Northeast Minneapolis Ambassador Program. See Northeast, see the world.
It is a
what their
city
float
on
is.
wheels with replicas of many of the churches and landmarks, such as the Hennepin Avenue Bridge. The float was built by volunteers who spent thousands of hours building and finishing the float with great detail. The Northeast Minneapolis royalty, you have Miss Northeast Minneapolis ambassadors, Jessica and Brooke, teen ambassadors Amber and Michaela, and baby junior ambassadors Keena and Kayla. Come celebrate Northeast Minneapolis on June 17th.
Welcome St. Paul Sons of Norway Children's Group. The Pure Net Dancers have entertained throughout the U.S., from Anchorage to Orlando and throughout Minnesota, especially the Festival of Nations in St. Paul. In warmer weather, the dancers wear traditional Norwegian outfits with a name I cannot say.
Yeah, I was glad you drew this one. Their float features Viking kick sleds, skis, folk dancing, music, and waving Norwegian and American flags. All part of Norwegian heritage are celebrated by St. Paul Sons of Norway kids.
This is an interesting group. They learn language, customs, folk dance, and all of it's designed to represent Norwegian heritage, and as well as learning about the geography of Norway, keeping that tradition alive.
Coming into view now, we have the Richfield Junior Ambassadors, representing Richfield's 4th of July celebration. We've been there before. Here are the 2013 and 14 Richfield Ambassadors. Riding on this patriotic float are Richfield Ambassadors Cherish Kovac, Deepika Pokarel, Brandy Haar, and Richfield Junior Ambassadors Jayla Inthasone and Jackie Castro.
Coming up, one of my favorites, Brent. They come in very handy. 1-800-GOT-JUNK. This is the world's greatest full-service junk removal company. They take just about anything that you have anywhere in your home or in your business. All you have to do is point at it, and they'll take it away. And their motto is, they take it away with a smile.
Following behind them is Frog Box. Take the hassle out of moving by using Frog Box. Their boxes are dropped off at the home you are moving from and picked up at the home you are moving to. No more cardboard or tape. Coming down now, we have the New Brighton Stockyard Days. Now, the Minneapolis Aquatennial and the St. Paul Winter Carnival sometimes argue over who gets which suburban festival under their reign, and New Brighton's been claimed by both, I know. So, the New Brighton Stockyards were established in 1889, and although they no longer exist, they contributed to the history of the New Brighton community. The award-winning New Brighton float carries the Stockyard Days theme with fence rails, saddles, and cowboy hats. It is decorated with silver and purple metallic petals and trim. In 1991, the New Brighton celebration was combined with the famous antique car run from New London to New Brighton, Minnesota. The car run is patterned after the London to Brighton, England runs, dating back to 1896. Stockyard Day celebration is August 3rd through 11th, 2014, and the New Brighton Stockyard ambassadors are Miss New Brighton, Maggie Leary, Princess Tori Lexon, and Lexi Bendrickson, with junior ambassadors Emma Jacobs, Kendall Barrett, Annalyn Kay, and Caitlin Evenson.
Now we have Ace Auto Parts driving on their truck, Never Alone Fitness. Never Alone Fitness, personal training, spinning, yoga, Zumba with Walker Lee Ashley. Accountability is key, and you're never alone here.
Next comes Leanne Chin. Leanne Chin is Minnesota's favorite Asian cuisine choice for dine-in, carry-out, and corporate delivery and catering. They're celebrating 32 plus years as a proud Minnesota company.
Well, here come the Harding High School drum line. Harding High School is made up of approximately 3 percussionists, grades 9 to 12. The ensemble is a performing group and executes a minimum of 10 shows a year, including parades. It's a cold day to March. Let's thank them all for coming, folks. Let's hear it for the Harding High School drum line.
Up next, we have the Lakeville Panoprog Royalty. Lakeville's Panorama of Progress Festival, which is held annually in conjunction with the 4th of July. Lakeville Royalty this year, we have Miss Lakeville, Erica Elias, the first Princess, Nicole Roach, second Princess, Sarah Barnes, Little Miss, who is Delaney Brooks, and Little Master, Philip Willingham.
Coming up next, the United States Postal Service. St. Paul Postmaster Mike Larson and Processing and Distribution Manager Greg Papoda lead the contingent representing the U.S. Postal Service Northland District. Volunteers advertise many products and services offered on USPS.com, driven in the 2010 Flex Fuel Delivery Caravan. Here they come. Postal Service is very interesting and unique to the United States and its success. Started in 1775, Benjamin Franklin was appointed the first Postmaster General. In 1847, U.S. postage stamps were issued. 1860, the Pony Express began. 1918, scheduled airmail service began. 1963, zip code was inaugurated. And in 1994, Postal Service launched the public internet site. It's something we take for granted, that you can drop a letter in a box on a corner and it's going to show up somewhere else. They do a great job for us. Right, we have a fun group coming up here on a cold day right now. The Twin City Unicycle Club. Twin Cities Unicycle Club is the largest unicycle club in the country, and it's the oldest unicycle club in Minnesota.
They have many of the best individual and pair riders in the world, with members holding over 30 national titles and over 15 world championship titles.
Last year, they competed in the 2013 national competition and convention in Pennsylvania, winning 20 national titles, including unicycle hockey. I'd like to see that.
Me too. This is interesting. They are preparing to host the 2014 national competition in the Twin Cities here and travel to the international competition in Montreal.
As you can see by looking at them, folks, the Twin Cities Unicycle Club is a family-oriented club. It welcomes anyone interested in learning to ride. If you're interested, you can visit tcuc.org and learn more about that. I'm anxious to get on a unicycle.
Nor am I.
Getting off one frightens me, however.
Up next, we have Captain Ken's 1923 Ahern's Fox antique fire engine. It served in the St. Paul Fire Department from 1923 until 1954. It's appeared in the Winter Carnival parades ever since 1981. The Highland Central Capital Squirt C team is marching with the fire engine today. Aye, boys. Squirt A.
I think we have U.S. Bank coming up here. U.S. Bank's committed to supporting the programs and organizations that enrich the quality of life for their neighbors, because when a community succeeds, everyone wins.
U.S. Bank, where all of us are serving you. Well, I have a little bit of a tickle in my throat, and thank God we brought water, which is now frozen
ice.
solid.
Well, if you're wondering what the weather's like, folks, that started out as water. Ice cubes look good in ice.
Here we have Cool 108 from Clear Channel, Minneapolis. Cool 108 is your go-to station for Minnesota's greatest hits from the 70s and 80s. Sing along to Fleetwood Mac, Journey, Elton John, Bon Jovi, REO Speedwagon, and more. And they're bringing back one from my childhood.
Well, it was so cold today, Brent, our computers didn't make it. It's a good thing we brought paper backup. However, the computer was more up to date. So our next float could be a surprise to us. Oh, I think it's Pepperfest.
Yes, it's North Hudson
All right.
Pepperfest. The Spaghetti Eating Festival.
North Hudson Pepperfest. King Ron, Queen Liz, and Princess Beezy, Samantha and Margaret from the village of North Hudson. Welcome, folks. North Hudson celebrates the community's strong Italian heritage with a festival that was originally put on by a group of neighbors to raise funds to build an elementary school. The three-day festival is still continued, and the money still goes to different community activities. They are famed for their spaghetti eating contest.
They are.
Coming up is a very important part of any community,
yes.
The Memorial Blood Centers, Minnesota's local independent blood center, providing life-saving products to local hospitals. Their motto is connecting people, saving lives. That looks like a nice, warm place to be.
Yes, it does.
They should set up. I bet a lot of people would give blood right now.
Yeah. The next one, really, for all of us here in Minnesota, needs no introduction. We have the Minnesota State Fair. Here comes the State Fair. Those two giant gophers are Fairborn and Fairchild, the official mascots of the fair. With them is Princess Kay of the Milky Way, Margena McWilliams, representing the Midwest Dairy Association. The Minnesota State Fair is something we can all be proud of because it is the biggest 12-day fair in the whole North American continent. Each year, over 1.5 million people visit the State Fair to see the exhibits, ride the carnival rides, and eat foods on a stick. There's so much to do at the State Fair. It's a world-class event showcased for agriculture, industry, technology, and entertainment. Not only that, but it's a world-class venue for viewing other Minnesotans.
Well, here come Robbinsdale Whiz Bang Days. Robbinsdale will be celebrating its 65th annual festival, Whiz Bang Days, which is celebrated the second weekend in July. Whiz Bang Days is a community-sponsored city celebration that honors the small-town caring attitude that their residents have, and Captain Billy's Whiz Band Publications that was founded for. On this float, we had Miss Robbinsdale, Rebecca Larson, Princess Carissa Nelson, and Amanda Roberg, and junior ambassadors Eva Funk and Zachary Kurtz.
In front of us now is the St. Paul Public Library Bookmobile. It offers year-round library service to St. Paul neighborhoods, makes over 40 stops every 2 weeks, visits multifamily housing communities, schools, child care centers, and other sites. Makes appearances at many community events through the year.
Well, joining us now are the Osmond Shriners. Osmond Shrine is celebrating 91 years of Shrine Circus in St. Paul this year. That's incredible. This is the longest running Shrine Circus in North America.
The Osmond Shrine is represented by its Legion of Honor. That's followed by the potentate Roger Burge.
I think those are coming up here. They're a little slow.
They're pacing themselves.
Well, the crowd's held pretty well, Brent. Look at this. It's amazing. Is everybody enjoying the sunshine? All right. Hardy St. Paulites.
That's right.
So this is the...
Osmond Shrine.
So where's Roger Berg?
Roger!
There's their potentate. All right, let's hear it for Roger. All right. Some of the units that are represented today are the sheiks, the provost, chanters, clowns, directors, staff, drum and bugle, Osmond Cycles, Mighty Mites, Zagalas, and the Alexandria Shrine Club.
The Shriners totally support 22 shrine hospitals for children, which provide specialized care to children with orthopedic conditions, burns, spinal cord injuries, and cleft lip and palate issues.
What's most impressive of all is all of these services are provided at no charge because these folks go out and raise the money to pay for it. They're major donors. Shrine is there's a number of groups. I'm not sure if we have everybody with us today in this weather. I haven't seen them yet. There's a drum and bugle corps. Did you bring everyone?
Almost.
Almost. All right. The drum and bugle corps, which may not have made it today, but we've seen them many times before. They've been a tradition since 1921. The first time they started in 1916 with 9 drummers. Over 100,000 people saw the VJ parade on August 15th, 1945. And those folks play in 20 to 25 parades a year.
The Osmond Cycle Corps, it's a percussion drill team made up of Shrine Masons. They're always looking for new members with a passion for riding and performing.
All right, then they have 2 32 Ford Street Rods, 4 36 Ford Cabriolets, 3 Micro Cup cars, like you would see in a NASCAR event. In 2008, they were first place in showmanship category at the Midwest Shrine Association meeting. They do figure 8s, leapfrogs, circles, crisscrosses, and more, and they'll do up to 30 miles an hour in a straightaway.
That was
I
the
think,
Osmond Mighty Mites there.
I think using good judgment today on a wet, cold street, they chose not to do that. Oh, here they are, though.
So no good judgment. These guys are always entertaining.
Well, Well, folks, let's hear it for the Shriners. The Shriners
Yeah.
do a lot for this community and communities all over the country. Thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you. Anybody-
Osman Zagalis, it's an Arabic word for wheel. That group started in 1993.
1983.
Or 83, thank you. Following him up, we have the Commemorative Air Force Minnesota Wing. This is a fun group to see. We've seen them at many parades over the last few years.
Yeah.
The Commemorative Air Force of Minnesota Wing, Minnesota Historical Society's Historic Fort Snelling and World War II Historical Reenactment Society present a tribute to Minnesota's military history and its volunteers.
Veterans. They feature an authentic 1930s U.S. Army color guard, vintage military vehicles, and reenactors in authentic gear and uniforms from past conflicts.
This group was founded in 1971. The Commemorative Air Force Minnesota Wing is based at Fleming Field in South St. Paul.
The wing offers history flies and actual World War II planes as operating a museum and restored military vehicles. Several of them you can see driving past us right now.
It's a lot of work keeping these up. This group does a great job. I wonder how the heaters are working in those cars.
We got a thumbs
we got
up.
a thumbs up. Well, they brought their full group
Yeah,
today.
they did. They're out in force. Whoever just brought us hot cocoa, by the way.
Yes, thank you for the hot cocoa.
Could I have another
Oh,
cup to
thank
just
you.
dip my hands in?
I'm pleased I could pick up a cup. My fingers are not quite working. How are you?
Nice. It would
Well, here
appear
we
that we have tpt.org driving past us right now. Sesame Street's channel. We have some very creative looking people walking in front of us here.
They
Look
were
at those
supposed to be a little
masks.
later in the parade.
Yeah, trying to find our page, but Narda New Ulm 77 is who was just passing us by.
All right, here comes a favorite of ours. If they would drive a little closer this way, please.
The Remax balloon.
Remax is back again.
Yep, Remax Results is fired up to be in the St. Paul Winter Carnival. Our real estate sales executives will help you find your place and achieve the results you deserve. Visit Remax Results at www.results.net.
Following up, we have Tour Minnesota Association. They're dedicated to enhancing tourism in Minnesota.
It's the largest organization dedicated to Minnesota's diverse tourism industry. TMA's members represent both the public and private sector. They're representing the best of Minnesota.
There's tours in Minnesota again.
Yeah.
Here we have the bus to safely bring everyone back to their cars in a warm place. Here's Farmington Royal Ambassadors. The Farmington Royal Ambassador Program exists to provide opportunities for involvement with the local and surrounding communities to support the growth and development of young women and girls in the city of Farmington. You know, that's a big part of what festivals are about around the community. You saw all the visiting royalty marching earlier. All those young women are in similar programs to this where they get the opportunity to learn leadership, and we're building the future leaders for Minnesota. These ambassadors gain poise, speaking ability, excuse me, and interviewing techniques during their ambassadorships. They'll travel throughout the greater Twin Cities and will be part of many volunteer opportunities here in our community of Farmington. The program's intent is to teach skills that will be invaluable throughout life.
Give them a wave, folks. Next, we've got the Ramsey County Fright Farm Haunted House. The Fright Farm is a large-scale, professional quality haunted house that is constructed and staffed by volunteers from the Sheriff's Office, as well as other members of the community. All proceeds from the Fright Farm are donated to the Ramsey County Sheriff's Foundation, a nonprofit entity that supports initiatives relating to youth, community outreach, and public safety. The Sheriff was established in 1849. It's Minnesota's first law enforcement agency. There are over 400 dedicated men and women. They provide full police services to the 7 contract communities.
Looks like we might have an escape here, Brent.
We have the Snow Beast. I do not feel like that prison facility is adequate.
Uh-oh. Where's Vulcan when you need him?
Don't worry, these guys operate the pre-trial detention facilities. They should know what they're doing.
Well, here's KDWB. Say hi to them. Tune in to Dave Ryan in the Morning Show, weekday mornings on 101.3 KDWB. You can check them out at kdwb.com or follow them on Facebook or Twitter. All the hits and commercial-free Mondays, 101.3 KDWB. Here comes the St. Paul Yacht Club.
It's a public marina located in the heart of the city on Harriet Island, and it's been there for 102 years. The float boat, Wave, named for the longest-serving member of the yacht club, is a classic Chris Craft roamer. Over 400 members of the yacht club who are active in the support of powerboating on the beautiful Upper Mississippi.
St. Paul Yacht Club's a great friend of Winter Carnival. They host many, many Winter Carnival events there. Looks like a cold place to be in a boat today. Look at the snow. Well, here we have the American Red Cross.
How are we doing, guys?
American Red Cross would like to remind you about the importance of giving blood. Please call 1-800-RED-CROSS, or you can go online at redcrossblood.org for an appointment. I encourage all of you to give blood. Well, you look like you've stayed pretty warm.
Got everybody? Yeah.
Coming now, we have Miss Minnesota U.S. International 2013. Your rating Miss Minnesota U.S. International 2013 is Afton Kelso from Howard Lake, Minnesota. She is promoting her platform, United We WAG, educating on animal welfare, safety, and adoption. She wants to remind everyone that shelter animals are not broken, just bruised, and looking for their forever homes. Afton is honored to be here today celebrating the coolest celebration on earth during the St. Paul Winter Carnival. Now we're getting close.
Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, Here comes a living symbol of the American spirit, the Wells Fargo Stagecoach with Mike Miller handling the ribbons. In 1897, Edward G. Wetzel opened our Wells Fargo office, while in neighboring Minneapolis, Wells Fargo namesake William G. Fargo helped establish the Northwestern National Bank. Riding on top of the famed Wells Fargo Stagecoach is your local downtown St. Paul management team, David Weimer and Jasmine Johnson. They're joined by members of the Wells Fargo St. Paul team. Let's give them a big hand. Isn't that a gorgeous carriage?
Yeah, it is.
Hard to imagine that's how you got around at one time.
And we got the Tux team back again,
Let's hear it for the Tux team.
doing the most important work out here.
Takes a lot of practice to be part of the Tux team.
They're a very elite organization. I understand.
Many years of
training.
education.
Yeah.
27 years.
of
It took him
education.
27 years to pull that trash can.
A lot of PhDs out there.
Here we have K102, today's country station. The world's toughest rodeo sponsors. World's toughest rodeo bucks into the
And
XL
America's
Energy.
tallest disc jockey.
This is Minnesota Furs. Minnesota Furs is a nonprofit organization focused on providing neutral and safe environments for fans and artists of anthropomorphic animals. They encourage social awareness and help new friendships while inspiring individual growth.
Looks like we have the Lacrosse Festival coming up here. Or am I ahead of myself?
Oh, we got a little out of order here.
Is this Minnesota Falun Dafa Association? Minnesota Falun Dafa Association proudly hosts Shen Yun, Chinese classic dance with live orchestra at the Orpheum in Minneapolis, February 14th through the 16th. There'll be 4 performances, and information is available at shenyun.com.
Here we have KFan 100.3, the Twin Cities sports leader, the home of the Minnesota Vikings football, Minnesota Wild hockey, and Golden Gopher football. You can listen to them on iHeartRadio or on your smartphone. And folks, now we have the police, the buses to pick everybody up. This is the end of the parade. We want to thank you for joining SPNN today and for the St. Paul Winter Carnival Grande Day Parade. I'm Tom LaSalle and Brent LaSalle. We thank you all for being here.
Enjoy the rest of the carnival.
And make sure you join us next Saturday at 5:30 for the Torchlight Parade. Enjoy the rest of the 128th Winter Carnival, the coolest celebration on earth.